Guys, I want to show you in today's video how to make a strong offer so that your offer gets accepted over someone else's offer that was a wholesaler that came in before you. So have you ever had an offer for, let's say, 100 made to the seller and you come back and they accept an offer for 95? Or have you ever had an offer accepted by yourself lower than what someone else offered that homeowner before you even got there? So what I want to talk about today is why terms are more powerful than the dollar amount, especially coming into a stressed marketplace like we have right now. I'm going to share with you how I make my offers and what I say with the homeowners when I go into the property, knowing when wholesalers have come in before me, or how I kind of find out the type of investors that came in before me. But first off, also I want to make a distinguishing separation between, is a wholesaler even a real estate investor? I may be ruffling some feathers right now, but guys, when I got into business, I started out wholesaling. It was a necessity for me to do so. I didn't have the money to close on properties, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I couldn't raise capital, so I had to start out wholesaling, which is great that you guys are starting out doing this. But for years, I was telling people I was a real estate investor, and when you think about it, is a wholesaler really a real estate investor, or are they just an entrepreneur and business owner? So over here, guys, what I want to do is talk about the differences between a real estate investor and a wholesaler, and then I want to talk about the offer that a wholesaler makes and an offer that a cash investor, an acquisition company, someone who's actually an investor who's taking on title to the property, gets to make how they're going to make their offers. Compare the two, because you want to go from this person to this person, and if you can't come to become this person right now, you at least want to know, as far as preparing yourself, what this person down here is offering behind you, so you can prepare and adjust your offers to make sure that you have a better chance of success going up against an investor, right? Right here, guys. A wholesaler is a business owner and entrepreneur because they're working for active income. So you're a business owner. It's a great business to be a part of. You can make a big income, but you can't create wealth, right? Remember what creates wealth: multiple streams of income, equity, cash flow, and duplication. How many of those does a wholesaling business have? And guys, I really want you to understand there's a lot of fakes and frauds out there on YouTube. All these people that you're following, they're telling you they're making all this money wholesaling houses, they're lying to you. Very, very few people actually make a lot of money wholesaling houses. In fact, so few, I can't even think of any of them off the top of my head that I truly know are honestly making over $1 million a year wholesaling houses. That just shows you it's not something you want to do long term. Now, I did this when I got my business off the ground. It was great. It helped me start my business and helped me get into real estate investing, but I got out of that business as fast as possible. And you're going to see why here in a second. But here is what an investor does. These are people buying houses for rental properties, buying houses for owner financing. Even, I guess you could say, a rehabber is kind of a hybrid of a business owner and an investor. So money works for them, they work for equity, they work for passive income, and they work for time. Your goal is to become this person first, unless you can start out here and then become this person, right? So what you need to understand is wealth is created from making money in business and taking all that disposable income and throwing it into high return investments. Make it in business, put it into investments. That's how you create wealth. Because if you're just rich, meaning you're bringing in a lot of money, but you don't have time and money freedom, and that money income stream can disappear at any time, you're not really wealthy. Once you have millions of dollars of free and clear assets that kick off a substantial cash flow that can never be taken from you unless you don't pay your taxes, now you're wealthy. Now let's look at the two different types of offers and how I win offers over wholesalers all the time for less than what they're actually offering, because the strength of the terms and the rapport I build with the seller. Here's what wholesalers are doing, guys. Low option deposit, usually $10 to $100. Long option period. Some of you guys are asking for 30 days or longer with your option period, at least 10 to 14, most of them. Low earnest money. They're asking to bring people by the house. They're telling them, oh, I need to bring my contractors or my lender or my insurance people, someone out by the property, right? This is a massive headache for the homeowner. Then they're gonna say, then they're gonna come back later and try to ask for a price drop, right? Because they're trying to squeeze as much out on the front end as possible because they don't care about owning the property long term. They have and/or signs in the buyer line along with their name or their company's name. And the last thing is they ask for a long close date. And they tell people, oh, well, I'm asking for 30-day close period, but the contract says and or before this date, so I'm gonna try to get it done sooner, but just in case, let's go ahead in case a title company, I guess, is backed up. As we know, that doesn't rarely ever happen, right? So why are these individuals having to do this? Because it's the only thing they know how to do. They can't take a risk, and they want as long as possible to tie the property up for the least amount. But to a homeowner, this is the worst offer you would ever want to take, unless you're only getting offers from 3 or 4 wholesalers and you don't know any different. So what do I do when I come into a property, and how do I make my offers, and why are they stronger than a wholesaler's offer? Okay, the first thing I do is I walk into the house and I say, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, you know, we talked earlier, this was as soon as I could get out here, unfortunately, but you told me you had some other investors come by the house. Now, what I want to ask you is, did they make you an offer and what their offer was? And also, how is their offer structured? Because I'm a real acquisition company, a real estate investor. I'll be closing on the property with my own money and taking title myself. Now, there is a risky type of individual in the real estate business that I am working against as a competitor, and they're called wholesalers. I don't know if you know this, but they don't really close on the property. What they're trying to do is contract your property and sell your property, or the contract to buy your property, to an investor like myself who does have the money to close on the property for a markup. And a lot of times they can't close on the property. So I'm gonna give you a couple things. You don't have to tell me who it was or who came by the property or what their offer was, but let me ask you a few questions as I go through my offer with you, and you can compare it to whoever's come in before you, right? So I'm trying to set the expectation that we're a better option for them to go with, and we are, right? So I say, here's what you're gonna look at with us. Now, if you look at your other offer, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, they probably have what's called a long option period in here with a small option amount. And I explain to them what the option period is. I say, let's say they ask for 30-day option on your house. How much does it cost you to own your house for the month? Then they say $2,500. So I say almost $100 a day. How much option money did they offer you? Well, $100. So they're offering you $100 risk on their side for 30 days, or $2,500 risk for you. Does that seem very fair? Now, does it? And I make them answer it. They're like, no, that doesn't seem very fair. So I say, if they tie your property up for 29 days and they can't close on it and they back out, you lost a lot of money, right? So what I want to do for you is I want to take that fear and that headache away from you up front. I don't need an option period in my offer. I'm going to buy the property right now for what I tell you I'm going to buy it for. I did my research before I came out here. I know exactly what it's worth, and now I've walked through the property for a little bit. I know exactly my repair costs, so my offer today is exactly what you're going to get. No option period. Okay? Then the second thing is, I'm gonna put up a high non-refundable earnest money. I say, did they put up earnest money? How much? Probably under a couple $100, right? They're gonna say, yeah, actually it is. Well, I'm gonna put up $5,000, $10,000, substantial amount of money, and it's non-refundable. So for some reason, if I cannot close on the property and it only takes 30 days and we can't figure this out, well, you're gonna get all my earnest money, which is twice or 3 times or 4 times what you're paying for the property to carry it. So you're actually gonna make money. So I'm the one taking all the risk. In the other scenario, they're the one taking no risk and you're taking all the risks. Wouldn't you rather the person buying the property from you take the risk and not you? Of course they would, right? Number 3, no inspections. I explained to them, since they're not actually buying the property, they're gonna need to bring real investors like myself into the property behind you or behind them to see if they'll actually buy the property. Now, they're gonna say that these are either contractors or appraisers or insurance people. They're gonna make up an excuse of who they are. But regardless, if you work with me, I'm the last person who's coming through your property. I'm not bringing any more strangers to bother you and interrupt your lifestyle and your family. It's just me from now on going forward. I don't need to bring anybody else by the property. Wouldn't it be nice to not have more strangers walking through your house? Yes, right? Okay, number 4, I will buy the property and take title to it myself. Here's the contact information from my title company, from my lender, and here's testimonials of other families I've worked with. Now ask the person that made you this other offer, are they the one taking title of the property? I'd ask them to put it in writing because a lot of them are gonna lie to you. Ask them, are they the actual person, the owner of the LLC, or the actual person who's gonna fund the property and own the property, or is their goal to sell it to someone else like myself, right? So you can see I'm helping them start a path that's gonna divide in their thought process of who's too risky to go with and who's the smart play to go with, right? So I tell them I'm gonna buy it. Number 5, I say there's 0 price reductions. There's a big trend out there for shady people and the business guys. They're going out there, coming back later and knocking homeowners down. This is dishonest, this is shady. You wouldn't want someone to do it to you, and I think a lot of people think this is a strategy. This is unethical and it's not a long-term strategy, guys. You're gonna earn a bad name in the marketplace and probably get sued at some point. So I tell them there's gonna be 0 price reductions and a fast close as compared to up here. I ask them if they have and/or signs in the contract, because if you have and/or signs in the buyer's line, that means they're going to assign the beneficial rights to buy the property to someone like myself. And I explain to them, I don't need a long close date, I need a fast close, or I'll have a fast close date and I'll get it done quicker. So that's the difference between my offer and their offer. And many times we're getting offers accepted 5 or 10 grand less just because of the reputation we build in the marketplace and the strength of our offer on terms. Now, this is what it should look like for you guys getting in the business. Business, investor, investor. You should start out creating income and leverage it into investments and create equity and wealth. But this is kind of how most investors go in, over their career. Start out as a wholesaler, move into a flipper, move into a landlord, and then move into an owner finance investor over time, because that's the way most people progress through the industry. Guys, I hope you like the difference between these 2 types of offers. It's very important to understand that if you're this person, you need to be aware that this is what people are coming in saying behind you, And also, if you're this person and you're trying to get to the next step right here, you need to understand that this is how you're gonna win offers over wholesalers in your marketplace. So guys, I hope you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I'll see you on the next one here in a few days. Have a good day.